Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Em and my books are everywhere. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday for the week ending July 23rd. So I finished 4 books this week, and the first one was This Lovely Thing, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I was reading this for Jane Austen July. I did physically read it in combination with listening to the audiobook narrated by Katherine Kellgren. Actually, on the cover of that, it says Kate Kellgren, same lady, wonderful narrator. But again, this is my favorite book of all time, so I thoroughly enjoyed rereading it for the I don't know how manyth time. I love this. This is a story of the Bennet sisters, primarily the 2 older sisters and the youngest sister, and their troubles in love, and how it all gets sorted out in the end. I just love this book. There's a lot of humor in it. There's some wonderful monologues in it. There's some banter, there's scoldings. Lizzie, I would say that she's the main heroine of this book. She is scolded and branded an obstinate, headstrong girl, but it's so great. I love this book so much. So this was the first book that I finished in this last week. I also finished, kind of going along with Pride and Prejudice, I finished The Grand Sophy by Georgette, and this was another book that I combo read. I read this physical book and listened partly to the audiobook. It was a great audiobook also. I'm not sure who the narrator is, but I'll put it right here. This was my first Georgette book, and I just loved it. There was some racism in here that I didn't love so much, but the rest of the story was so good. This is a story of Sophy, whose father has been raising her since her mother passed when she was 5, and mostly he's just kind of been leaving her to her own devices as he travels around the world. I think he's a diplomat, and so she's kind of tagging along and being raised in all these countries, and she has a very fine mind. She knows what she wants, and she generally gets it. And it's so fun because even though she's not considered to be a beauty or even to have fine eyes, and that's like a callback to Pride and Prejudice, the guys that she meets are like totally charmed by her. There's even one guy that's very reminiscent of Mr. Collins in Pride and Prejudice. So I did see a lot of parallels in this. There's one guy, of course, that is very proud that she doesn't seem to charm. But this is such a fun book and very witty, very rompy. It's a Regency romance, and I just loved it. I also finished The Wild Robot by Peter Brown, and this was recommended to me by my nephew, and what a great recommendation. I loved this book. I've been reading it off and on the last couple of days. The chapters are incredibly short, so it's a book that's easy to pick up, read a chapter when you have just like a little snippet of time to be able to read. So good. It's so touching. It's got humor. It's just wonderful. It's about a robot that's trying to find her place in the world, and she kind of doesn't understand where she came from or what her purpose is, but she finds purpose, and she finds out that she likes being wild. And it's just such a great story. I love it, and one that I would recommend not only to children but to all ages. It's so good. And this week I also finished Death of a Wild Swimmer on audiobook, and that is by Peter Boland, and that is the 5th book and the latest book in the Charity Shop Detective Agency series. It's a British cozy mystery series. I just love it. It's one of my new favorite series. I'm not sad that I'm caught up into the 5th book, because that just means I can start that series over again. So that one I went into blind, not really knowing what the story was, and really not even knowing what a wild swimmer is. A wild swimmer apparently is someone that swims without any gear, in the ocean, and there's a group of wild swimmers that will just with their bathing suit go out into the ocean to swim. I live in California. I love to go to the ocean. I do not swim in the ocean because of Jaws, but I do get in the water, but only in the summertime when it's really hot.
Alright, let's see how long this little guy hangs out with us. Not very long, because he likes to move about.
And one of these wild swimmers ends up being found dead, and they're not sure if it's an accident or if it was murder. So one of his friends goes to the charity shop to ask the ladies to investigate his death to find out if it was a natural death or if it was suspicious, and if it was suspicious, then who it was that murdered him. So that was just another fun story. I really enjoyed it. There's so many books that I want to read, but I definitely will start a reread of that series sooner rather than later. It's another series. I recommend the whole thing, and this was another fun book in that series. Now, the book that I'm currently reading is also for Jane Austen July. I'm running out of July, guys, so I need to hurry up and finish up my Jane Austen July plans. But this is Sanditon, and this first 11 chapters were written by Jane Austen, and then the rest of it was finished by another author. I thought this was like pretty recent, but when I was reading the little note in front, it was talking about 1975. Yeah, 1975, and it was Marie Dobbs was the author that finished this book. But this was the one that Pepper Basham recommended to me. She said that she thought it was a really good ending, and it fit really well with what Jane Austen wrote. So I have started it. I'm just barely at the beginning, still in the part that Jane Austen wrote. I did read those 11 chapters last year for Jane Austen July. I'm still counting them for this year for the not one of the main novels, main 6 novels. I'm still counting those 11 chapters for that this year again. I do like the story of Sanditon, and I was sad that it wasn't finished, but now I get this opportunity to see how this author finished the story. I trust Pepper Basham that it's going to be a good time, so let's go with this. This will be the next book that I'll be reading, or this will be the main book that I'll be reading in the next few days. And then also in my last video, I did a fun little game where you kind of rank books by their first paragraph, and then the one that ranks the highest goes on your up next to read. So that was 2 parts Sugar, 1 part Murder by Valerie Byrne. I'm so excited to read this. I've heard from a couple of other people that it is a great series. So yeah, looking forward to this one. I usually only like to have one physical book on the go, but both of these I only have physical, so I'll probably have a couple, maybe 3, because also I only have this in physical, and this was another one that I had already on my up next, and this is A Novel Murder by Elizabeth Penny, and I have heard from someone that they love Elizabeth Penny. Fiona from Reads and Eats, I believe, was the one who said that she loves the Elizabeth Penny books, and so I'm eager to read this one too. So these 3 books are the ones that I'll be working on in the next few days. Every book that I finished this week was amazing. Oh, that reminds me. There was one book that I DNF'd. You may remember that I was reading The Genius of Jane Austen by Paula Byrne, and it was a nonfiction book that explored Jane Austen and plays, like how she was influenced by him, how her works were influenced by the theater, and then in turn how her books influenced theater after her, and film. And I thought that it was going to be really interesting, and there were at the beginning there's some things that I found humorous, and I thought, oh, this is going to be good. It's going to be humorous, it's going to be informative, entertaining. There was a lot of information, but I felt like I was back in college and taking a literature class, and things were being brought up over and over and over again. And so I read the first 40 pages. And the part that I really was interested in was in how she influenced modern film and theater. So I skipped to that part, which was like the last 50 pages. But even that was a little dry. And so I decided to DNF it, at least for now. I'm not gonna finish it this year for Jane Austen July. I may pick it up sometime in the future when I am feeling a little more studious. But yeah, so that was my reading week. How was your reading week? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat with you about the books I mentioned, about the books that you're reading, any suggestions you have for me. Please put it all down there and let's talk. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.